Good evening. Welcome to the March 26, 2026 Warrant Committee meeting. This is an in-person meeting in the basement of Town Hall. Karen, can you do a roll call to start us off?
We have Jay Fondling, Elaine Craighead, James Lee Dassey, Lorraine D., Grace Doherty, Larry Johnson, Julia Maxwell, Brian McGuire, Lee Michael McLean, Ron Sia, and Cecilia. You have a quorum.
Okay. So for tonight, we have approximately 30 warrant articles to address. I want to do this with efficiency, but not rushed. So for each article, we'll look at it. If the expert on that article has a few words to say, they can say them. If they have more than a few words a day, they can say them. If not, that's fine too. We're not looking to fill air for no reason. And since we're all in person, we can do voice votes, so that will speed things up. It's my expectation that we'll finish tonight with plenty of time left over, but we do have a Zoom-only meeting booked for Monday just in case. So if an issue comes up and we need to discuss it, my goal was not to say, nope, sorry, we're rushed, we have to vote tonight. We do have Monday as a pressure release valve. But I'm going to start. I'm going to share my screen. I think I'm going to share my screen. This always takes me a second. I'm going to share the warrant. And then we are going to, can you see what I, okay. Then we're going to start discussion. Mr. Milano, you're welcome to join us at the table or come up when needed, as you choose. All right. So, the first article in the warrant is to hear the report of town officers, which is pretty straightforward. It's just a place in town meeting when we can have various reports from various people. I'd like to have, all right, to make things go even more efficiently, I'd like to have from this side of the table a designated motion maker, and from this side of the table a designated seconder. Who's going to be my designated motion maker?
I'll be it.
All right. Who's going to be my designated seconder? Okay. All right. Hearing the report of the town accountant and other officers.
I would like to move that we accept Article 1 as written.
Oh, second.
You had one job.
Good job you did.
And I'm hoping people will interrupt if they have questions. I don't expect questions about an article like this. Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Abstain, raise your hand. Karen, we good?
You're good. Motion
Okay.
carries.
Article, I'm using the old numbering, what I'm calling Article 3. You're good with me, Karen? Authorize the town treasurer to enter into, essentially this is once a year we have to tell the town treasurer, yes, you can open bank accounts.
Jay, can you expand it a little bit?
Expand it,
I
yes.
move that we accept Article 3 as written.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Abstaining, raise your hand. Okay. Article 4 we've already done. That's the capital article. Article number 5, municipal audit. Ron, I think you're assigned to this. As I said, we're not looking to talk just to fill air. Ron, I think this is your article. Do you have anything to say about it?
No, I mean.
Okay. All right. We're paying for an audit.
I'd like to move that we accept Article 5 as written.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no? No. Abstain? Okay.
James.
Abstain, raise your hand.
Don't wait for
There's
comedy.
always one. This is the wage set aside. I had Andrew listed as the expert to this. Mr. Milano mentioned it the other day. This, I would put it in one sentence as, there are some union contracts that we haven't agreed on yet. And so we have to set aside money. Because even though those people didn't get a raise in the past year, they'll get a retroactive raise once their union contract is approved, and or their contract for FY27 hasn't been approved, so that's not going through their salary line item budget, it's going through this one. And it's an estimate of what their salary increase will be once the contract is approved. Mr. Milano, did I do an adequate job of that? I sort of muddled that. Does it make sense around the table?
Yes.
Jay, one question. So that money stays there until the contract's agreed to and then it's distributed?
If the contract is signed in the next year, yeah. If the contract takes another year, then we'll do a bigger appropriation the following year.
Can I ask a question? There's nothing in F27 for this. Should there be?
There is.
The one I'm looking at. Am I missing?
169.
Oh, I'm
I
sorry.
see, yeah.
I must have the old one up.
You must have an old one, yeah.
All
I
right.
sent this out on Monday.
Okay.
You guys
Thanks.
working on the echo?
Oh, that works.
Oh, that's great. I kind of liked it.
Mr. Chair, I move that we accept Article. Can you scroll up a little bit?
Oh,
Article 6 as written.
Second.
discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All abstain? Okay. Article 7 is employee benefits, which I'm the expert on this. I could talk till the cows come home about employee benefits. I used to be a retirement actuary. This covers unemployment insurance. The next two lines are both the pension fund and the retiree medical fund, which the pension plan we paid off. We paid that off a
Yeah, I think I have to
couple
re-sign
years
that.
ago, but now we still have to put money in for the pension benefits that people are earning every year. The next line is retiree medical, which we have like $100 million liability, and we're chipping away at that a little bit every year, as are other cities and towns in the Commonwealth. And then health insurance, we're self-insured program. They've set the rates, and the rates are 8% higher than last year, which is a lot, but a lot less than we thought it might be. Questions?
Yeah, it's on Monday.
I will note that, well, doesn't matter. No questions.
Mr. Chair, I move that we accept Article 7 as written.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All abstaining. Okay. Article 8. There was somebody reached out to me this week with some confusion. This is a list of I believe our non-union employees. It's something that gets re-upped every year in the warrant. And then at the bottom, we talk about the raises we give to the non-union employees. If you want to look at, how many employees does each department actually have? You want to look at the individual department's budget, which we all got back in December. These are just, I believe, the non-union ones. Was that pretty close, Mr. Milano?
I'm sorry?
Do you want more space?
Some of these are union, I think.
No, I don't think.
Clarify quickly. This article lists out all grades of all employees. The unclassified list at the bottom of the non-union employees. The set aside is just for the non-union employees in this article, but the listing that you see is all the town employees.
Is this
With
all
their,
current employees or just?
their
elected
I shouldn't say employees, the job titles and positions that we have established and the grades that they're established for. Since they're all predominantly collective bargaining positions, it's really determined by the collective bargaining agreements. But this is a process on the Mass General laws that we have to follow to list it and have it approved annually.
Jay, for an article like that, if you want, I think if you scroll to the comment while you're talking, people can refresh their memory as to what that article is for.
You're right. Okay.
Who wrote the comments on these, Jay? Are they just copied and
These
pasted?
are, I believe, copied from town hall.
Yeah.
We didn't tweak much. We probably just changed the years. I don't
Okay.
think we actually changed the comment.
Right. Yeah, so I grabbed from last year. Okay.
It's 8, right?
It's,
Mr. Chair, I move that we accept Article 8 as written.
A second. I was just looking for what number it was.
all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All abstain? Okay. All right, number 9 is public safety, which includes both police and fire. We have our fire expert, Larry, here. I don't believe we have Macy here to talk about police. One thing of note is that, the only position added in the whole town structure this year was the police IT person. So that's in this budget. Larry, anything else of note? Again, I'm not asking to fill the air. I'm just
No, that's it. I mean, I'll review my notes before I read the comment, but
I think inspectional, I think they added somebody to that too, did they? Well, it's my recollection. Maybe I'm wrong.
I mean, I didn't hear about anybody being added.
I mean, they added 4 positions
Was
to fire.
somebody added to inspection, Mr. Milano?
That's
Or is that the
that's
part
where we appropriate some free cash for additional hours for.
Did I do 8?
That's what it was.
Okay.
Great.
What did you, oh, old 8, you said?
Jay, are we using the
We're
old
on
numbers or
9.
the new?
This is 9.
I'm saying 9 of these.
Yeah.
Mr. Chair, I move that we accept Article 9 as written.
Second.
Okay. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? All abstaining. Okay. Number 10 is general government, which has a lot of things under it and had a lot of experts for it. I think Grace was the general government person, but Larry looked into IT, Brian looked into insurance, Macy looked into legal. As you all saw, we got an email from Brian earlier today with a description of some of our insurance coverages, which I appreciated. I've been working on this for years and haven't gotten as much information as he got, so appreciate that. Grace or anyone else, do you have comments on this?
The only thing I looked at is I saw that we increased the ice and snow removal for this year. And when I talked to Amy, she said that once we get that, that's like becomes the level set. So are we okay with that increase? So it went from 160 to 250.
Are you saying that I remember hearing something from previous years that like it can never go down. Like,
Right,
we
if
could
you-
say-
well, but once you set it at that level, you can't bring it down. So that's why, I mean, I know we're gonna be.
Meaning like next year and the year
So
after?
next year it'll be starting at 250.
I think we're kind of bought into the fact that we have to increase that line
Okay.
a lot over time.
Yeah.
My understanding is that in the past couple of years when we had essentially no snow, we still spent $500,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Milano, any comments on, well, first of all, is that in the general government budget or is that in DPW?
It's in Public Works, so it's a separate article.
Okay,
Oh,
right.
I thought it was because I talked about general stuff, but okay.
And I'll just note, we could reduce the snow and ice budget if we wanted to, but then you're not allowed to deficit spend it. So it's a quirk of your municipal finance law. We often say you can't reduce it. You can reduce it. That means you can't spend it into deficit. So we don't reduce it. So that just further explains that.
okay. But that's not under this article, back under general government, which includes lots of various things. The experts don't have any comments. I'm open to a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move that we accept Article 10 as written.
Second.
Okay. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. All abstain. Okay. Going on to number 11, boards and committees, which is also a big catch-all. I believe it was Lee Michael covered the Council on Aging, which is one of the boards and committees, and Ron covered everything else. Do either of you have things to say that you haven't said before?
No additional comments, just reinforce the Council on Aging's doing a great job.
Ron?
I agree with Lee Michael on the Council of Aging.
Mr. Chair, I move that we accept Article 11 as written.
Oh, I second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. All abstaining? Okay. Moving on to number 12. There is number confusion because Article 2 is going to go away. So what we're voting as Article 12 right now will eventually be Article 11. We're all adults. We can all deal with that.
No, what do you want me to call it 12 or 11?
I want you to call it 12 because that's what's written in front of me.
Okay.
Is that okay with everybody?
Yeah.
So Nick Tangney, I've got numbers 12 through 17 as saying you're the expert on those.
Sweet.
Because I, in my mind, I lump them all under DPW. But the first one is actually DPW, including snow and ice budget. Questions, comments? Nope.
I'm sorry, why is the snow and ice? Why has it dropped? I mean, it was
So you see-
800,000.
FY25 is actual. That's the difference between these three. FY25 is actual. We actually spent 800,000 in a year with almost no snow.
Yeah.
Last year we appropriated 160. This year we're going to
Oh, that's
town
right.
meeting agrees with us appropriate 250.
We're doing incremental uptake. I remember that from last week. Okay.
Okay, I'm open to a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move that we accept Article 12 as written.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
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 All opposed say no. All abstaining? Okay. Article 13, the Water Enterprise Fund. This is your water bill goes in and water and money comes out to pay for things that your water bill pays for, including but not limited to MWRA water and some people in town. Any other comments, questions?
Mr. Chair, this doesn't happen often. I'll just note that the appropriation for this budget is going down year over year. So,
Okay.
That's cool.
Do you know what's
Yay.
driving the decrease? Is it
debt service has dropped, so that's largely where the
Nice.
savings come from.
okay?
Cool. Mr. Chair, I move.
Hold on, Grace. You had some questions before the meeting. Are those?
Oh, yeah. But the Water Enterprise Fund is just all the revenue that we get from water bills, right? It's not a separate fund, it's just like,
It's a separate fund in the sense that the taxpayers aren't supporting it. It's truly rate driven by ratepayers. So it's not part of the overall town budgets, but it's not funded by the general fund in the sense that it's supported by taxpayers or anything else. It's purely supported by the fees you pay on the water that you consume.
okay. But it's not like it's a reserve fund or anything.
No.
Okay, that's what we want.
It has its own reserves within it called retained earnings, but it's
Oh, okay, that's what.
so it
the
is
retained
self-supporting,
earnings
self-sufficient.
are.
Mr. Chair, I move that we accept Article 13 as written.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
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 All opposed say no. All abstain. Okay. Article 14 is very similar. That's the Sewer Enterprise Fund. Is this also going down? No, it is not. I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move that we accept Article 14 as written.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. All abstaining. Okay. Article 15, Stormwater Enterprise Fund. I'll entertain a motion.
Can I
Mr.
just ask a
Motion?
question?
Sure.
I'm sorry.
Mr. Motion.
Like the last two, maybe I missed it, but the one before this, I don't recall did we have a presentation on this? Like the Sewer Enterprise
Sewer
Fund?
Enterprise Fund?
Like why the ones went up and also this one too? Like they are both going up, and I'm not saying it's wrong, but it's going up a bit more than normal.
So, I mean,
Maybe some explanation would be.
Mr. Milton or Ms. Dexter, are you prepared to speak to that?
Sure. So sewer, just going back to Article 14, which is sewer, the increase that you see there is a couple $100,000 or slightly more than that. It's largely driven by the MWRA assessment. That is just what we pay. It's based on, prior year. It's based on Milton's prior year usage, prior calendar year usage is what we're paying for in this fiscal year budget. So sewer is more expensive. It's generally tracked going up higher than on the water side. So it's largely driven by the MWRA assessment. There's a slight increase in general expenses for an asset management plan that the department is undertaking. It's a grant-funded project. We have a local match. So it's like a $26,000 appropriation that is seeing increased on the general expenses to help match the what's required for the grant for the asset management plan. Those are the tweaks there. In debt service, obviously, as you can tell, is almost flat. On stormwater, no, we didn't talk about stormwater much. So, obviously salaries are flat, mostly flat. Debt service mostly flat. The increases are in debt service, in general expenses. What the Stormwater Enterprise Fund covers is our federal requirements for MS4 compliance, which is the stormwater rules and regs. So it's very intensive in the amount of testing we have to do. So those costs are really starting to creep in. So we have an increase this year in general expenses, largely for federal compliance with the MS4 regulations around stormwater. So that's where the increase is driven by in fiscal 27.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Chair, I move that we accept Article 15 as written.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Abstaining, raise your hand. Okay, we are approximately at the halfway point for tonight. But not to jinx it or anything. This is Mr. Milano. Can you speak to the next two, which are the improvements?
Yes, these are essentially bond authorizations for first water and the second for sewer. The numbers are what they are because that's what we're allotted from the MWRA. So we'll access, in the case of water, $596,000 from the MWRA on a 10-year no interest loan. So what the department will do is we'll pull a couple of these together and then access the money through the MWRA. We expect to actually do a water main project this fall and secure financing from the MWRA. So it's a benefit of being a part of that institution and having our water come from there is that we have access to cheap debt.
Okay, cheap debt. Okay. Unless there are any questions, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move that we accept Article 16 as written.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. All abstain. Okay. Number 17, which is sewer borrowing.
Similar, the program here is a little bit different where it's a 75% grant, 25% loan. So we have to authorize the full amount, $1.15 million. We'll get funding from MWRA for free, grant funding for 75% of that amount. And then we will borrow 25%, which is about $250,000, which we will again have to pay back 10 years, no interest. And that's for upgrades to sewer lines, largely lining pipes for preventing inflow and infiltration of groundwater and stormwater into the sewer systems that then we have to pay to have treated.
Great. Any questions?
Mr. Chair, I move that we accept Article 17 as written.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Abstain, raise your hand. Thank you. Number 18, the Board of Health. Julia, you were the expert on this. Any comments?
None, in addition to what Cecile and I presented already.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, I move that we accept Article 18 as written.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
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 All opposed say no. Abstaining, raise your hand. Thank you. Number 19, Public Library, Lee Michael.
So this is me. I just want to note that there are some financial needs at the library, and we were not able to meet the requests this year or last year, I think. And so I hope that we'll be able to keep an eye on that and hopefully get some additional funding towards the headed towards the library soon.
Thank you. Any questions?
Mr. Chair, I move that we accept Article 19 as written.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Abstaining, raise your hand. Okay. Article 20, Cemetery. James Lee, was this yours?
Yes.
Do you have any comments?
So cemetery is very similar to the library, very flat level funding for the past couple of years. Although they could use a little bit more cash because salaries don't staying flat for a couple of years hurts. But hopefully selling some of the old equipment will offset some of the expenses that they have.
Okay. Any questions?
Mr. Chair, I move that we accept Article 20 as written.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
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 All opposed no. All abstaining, raise your hand. Article 21, Parks and Rec. Cecile, was this you?
Yeah, no additional comments aside from the presentation.
Thank you. Any questions?
Mr. Chair, I move that we accept Article 21 as written.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. All abstaining, raise your hand. Article 22, Consolidated Facilities. Brian, I believe you were the expert on this.
Yeah, a lot of it was, well, the increases from 25 to 27 is mostly due to addition of the fire station and
Okay.
the animal shelter. I mean, that really makes up the bulk of it with cleaning, maintenance, equipment, contracts. That's basically it.
Thank you. I'll entertain a motion.
I move that we accept Article 22 as written.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. All abstaining, raise your hand. Okay. Article 23 is the schools, which you already voted on.
Yay.
Article 24 is the Blue Hill Regional Technical School. Elaine, I believe you're the expert on this.
Yeah, it's just going down a little bit because we don't have as many students attending.
Okay.
Thanks. Mr. Chair, I move that we accept Article 24 as written.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
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 All opposed say no. All abstaining, raise your hand. And I am curious because Miss Dexter came in late. I wonder if she appreciates how orchestrated we are.
Oh, come on.
Now you said it.
Interest and maturing debt. Nikki, the finance professor, was our expert on this. She is not here. I mean, this is, we have bonds, we need to pay the bonds. Mr. Milano, I'll turn to you. Is there anything more you'd like to say about this one?
I think only I've talked about it a few times, just that we are having more debt come on in fiscal 27 and again in fiscal 28 just because of a number of large projects that are several years old that haven't been financed yet because the projects haven't been complete. A new ladder truck for $1.6 million. 2 new engines are coming on at the same time. The Lower Guile project still not moving forward, so that's something we still have to issue debt for. And then the Cunningham Collycott library and classroom project that was probably going to come in around $4 million. So all that debt's kind of hitting around the same time. So it doesn't look significant when you total it this way. But in fiscal 28, we do expect another jump up in debt service just as all that debt comes on. So just a kind of word of what to expect for next year.
Can I ask a question on that? Do we have like a policy or amount that we're allowed to take in terms of total debt for the town? Or like, are we going to max out at some point?
We don't have a policy. We've drafted a debt management policy, are still working through it. We're not at risk right now. Usually when communities, there's a state limit, but that's pretty high.
Yeah, we're not even close. I don't know what the dollar amount is, but. So even though we're adding debt, we feel like we'll still sustainably be able to meet the requirements on the debt in the next couple of years.
I think there's a check on that too, because wouldn't our rating go down if our debt started getting too high?
That's what I was asking.
Yeah, okay.
And it'll likely, that conversation will, if we approach the middle school project or a new school project where those are $100 million, $200 million, depending on the type of project, that conversation from the ratings agency might be a little bit different, but it'll be at that point a debt exclusion supported by the voters, and it'll be separate kind of from the general fund a little bit. But no, we don't have concerns about that. And actually, it's a place where, in order to invest properly in our capital assets, we should be trying to increase it where we can.
Mr. Chair, I move that we accept Article 25 as written.
Second.
Okay. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Abstaining, raise your hand. Okay. Article 26, rescind authorized but unissued debt, which I think is just what it sounds like on the title. Mr. Milano, you don't have to comment on this, but is there any?
You want to do this, right?
Yes, please.
He wants to do it.
In favor.
Mr. Chair, I move that we accept Article 26 as written.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. All abstaining, raise your hand. Okay. Then we've done stabilization funds. We did those the other night. Next, the reserve fund, which for those who don't know, this is, it's similar in concept to the stabilization funds, but it's a lot more short term. It's just like a 1-year thing. Money goes into it, and it can be used for 2 things. One is if there's an emergency during the year, like a couple of years ago, the wood chipper broke, they come to us, meaning the warrant committee, and ask for money out of this. It's one of the few things we can actually do instead of just recommend. The other thing it's used for is at the end of the year, the year ends, settling up all the budgets. If Department X went over budget by $10,000, you can take $10,000 out of this to settle up their budget. That's really what it's used for. It's an emergency fund if things break. And then whatever's not used out of that would go to free cash the next year. That was a lot of words.
Mr. Chair, I move that we accept Article 28 as written.
Second.
Okay. All in favor say aye.
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 All opposed, no. All abstain. Number 29, authorize revolving funds expenditure limits. Revolving funds are, I don't know if anybody in the room wants to describe it more than I do, but it's like, for example, look at the library. You know, they take in overdue fines and trash sticker sales, and they can spend that on purchasing new books. You know, it's funds for taking in certain things. Grace, I believe you were asking me before the meeting, you know, what different funds we have. I think this is a bunch of them. You know, the Board of Health takes in fees from the flu clinic, and they can spend it on the purchase of flu vaccines. So they're individual funds. We've got a handful of them.
It's income for the town?
No, because it's just sort of self-contained.
For that.
It's a kitty for the department, basically.
Oh, I see.
So Jay, question for you, where does the override sit? I mean, does that sit up here in
The override was from last year.
Right.
That was in last year's.
right, but that's supposed to go into the stabilization fund, right?
Oh, you're talking about the $700,000?
Yeah.
That is not in the warrant at all, I don't think. Is that in the warrant at all, the 700,000?
Yeah, it's in the stabilization fund article that you voted the other night. It was combined with free cash infusion, so it was like a 2,770,000.
Oh, okay, so it's in the operating budget stabilization.
Yeah, it's in the
That's
stabilization fund. It says,
Okay, where it's operating budget stabilization fund, and that one, 2.7?
Yeah, and you see how in the comment, in the recommendation, 717,000 will be raised by the levy.
Okay.
That's
it.
Yeah.
That's the override.
people at home can neither hear Miss Dexter nor nor see me point. But the stabilization fund one, it says we're raising 700,000 from the tax levy, 717,000 from the tax levy, and a bunch of others from free cash. And if you look up a little bit, you see, okay, we know we're putting $1 million of free cash into the operating budget stabilization fund, and we know we're putting 717,000 from the taxes into the operating budget stabilization fund. So that's where it is in the warrant. Good question, thank you. But we were talking revolving funds.
Can I ask on this? Because I don't quite understand it. I don't remember this from last year. But like the library gets, is that saying that they get 65,000 in from overdue books and fines, and they can spend that on new books? Is that all that says?
So
that this
the
authorizes them?
Oh, sorry. I apologize.
No, good.
The recommendation literally says, recommended that the town vote to set a limit on the total amount which may be expended from each such revolving fund in the fiscal year. You're basically giving them a budget for that
Okay.
revolving fund.
Okay.
And that's the max.
The maximum they can
Funded by
spend.
these activities
Okay,
listed in the revenue source, right?
got it.
So it
Thank
might
you.
not be 65,000, it might be 5,000.
Right.
We're just,
But
Yeah.
if they bring in more than this budget, the limit column, then what happens?
They can make money, they can't spend it.
Correct.
What happens to the
Right, but
money?
what happens to the money they made?
It stays in the revolving fund.
It grows.
for next year.
Okay, thanks.
Mr. Chair, I move that we accept Article 29 as written.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
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 All opposed, no. All abstaining, raise your hand. Okay. The PEG Access Enterprise Fund, which funds our delightful friends at the back of the room at MATV. The money goes into that fund from money that is on your cable bill, and it comes out to run MATV. So we are voting to take money out of that fund. Any questions?
What's it going to do? I'm sorry. I don't recall this one.
We talked about it a good bit last year because
I remember last year, but this
they
year is
were,
it different?
I mean, it pays for MATV. They upgraded the fire station. I think they might have borrowed.
Just to pay for access, Milton access, right?
Well, Mr. Milano, you're recognized.
Yes, so we take in money every year from the cable fees, as Jay was describing. The town has a written agreement with MPEG Access Inc., which is the nonprofit known as Milton TV, where we transfer all but a small portion of that to them. So whatever comes in, all but a small portion goes to the nonprofit for their operations. So it's basically a direct transfer from town to the MPEG accessing to support MATV salaries and equipment purchases and other costs.
Mr. Chair, I move that we accept Article 30 as written.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. All abstaining, raise your hand. Number 31. Okay, so 31, 32, and 33 all related to the Community Preservation Act, which both Cecile and Ron looked into. The first one, I'm shooting from the hip here. The first one is just the total budget. Is that it?
Yeah, it's the revenue and then where to appropriate. And so for some quick background, the surcharge is 1% of the tax that the town collects. And so that number has gone up quite a bit from last year, but it's just the 1%. The second row, the state trust fund distribution, they set aside money from certain things like titles and deeds, and they distribute it to the CPA communities. So that's just set by the state. And then the distribution, the 3 lines for historic community and open space, that's just the CPA requires at least 10% of the income be distributed to each of these categories. So you'll see it's pretty much just 10%. And then the undesignated can go to any of the 3 purposes.
Okay.
So question, so we looked at, there was a group that presented to us about the war, right?
Mhm.
So it's not part of this.
Right, okay, so that would be
There's a
separate
third.
then.
That's a separate article.
It's a different article,
Okay.
but it's the same.
But within this budget.
It is within the budget?
Well, I mean, this is how they operate. This is their funds.
Right,
But then they were looking to,
take out
to
debt.
take out
and-
debt, yeah,
right,
so.
so that's not reflected here. then?
no.
Okay, all right, that's one issue.
Mr. Chair, I move that we accept Article 31 as written.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. All abstaining, raise your hand. Okay. Okay, 32 is longer. It is a list of all the things that the CPA is spending their money on. In previous years, we'd have them come through and talk about all these things, and I am certain that they'll stand up in front of town meeting and talk about all these things. I didn't have them do that this time because, in a certain sense, it's their money, and they get to decide how to allocate it, and we just sort of nod wisely. But again, we had our experts discuss this. Anything you want to mention of note?
The only thing I thought was interesting was the historic preservation doesn't have that much allocated, but that's just because of the people that came forth with projects. There weren't that many for the historic category. So the funds allocated there will just be used at a later time for another historic preservation project.
Because as you said, at least 10% of the budget has to go to that.
Yes.
And since this doesn't add up to that,
It'll be set aside, but it needs to get used for historic preservation in the future.
so then the total funding of 1.05 does not add up to the one. Okay, thank you. Thank you for pointing that out.
If I may make a suggestion, in the comment, if you feel it's appropriate, it might be nice to recognize these folks for advancing these community projects on behalf of the town. Mr. Chair, I think I might see a typo in the recommendation. If you go to the bolded stuff below the table,
Okay.
1, 2, third line down after the word recommendations, do you see an errant?
Oh, yeah.
I see a
There's a period,
period, a
comma.
quote, and a semicolon.
I think the rest of it belongs. I think the period is inappropriate.
Well, let's see. What did the heading say?
I agree with my colleague.
Okay.
Somebody fell asleep on the keyboard.
Okay.
Okay.
So would you like to make a motion?
Oh,
You took it out.
was one more comment. In the past, I think Tom, who was the chair, had explained that community members or people submit requests, that the committee doesn't go out looking for this. That's why, they just respond to what was presented to them. That's why there's always an ask that he makes to ask people, bring ideas in, bring submissions.
That's great.
And then, if more people have ideas, then this committee can consider them and find the best way to allocate the money.
That's a good thing to put in the warrant too, because if we educate people about the process, then more people can participate. Thank you. Mr. Chair, I move that we accept Article 32 as written.
Accept
that we.
Except for the.
Oh, I thought you made the change with the change of removing the period after the word recommendations in the recommendation.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. All abstaining, raise your hand.
Can I interrupt?
Oh,
Sorry.
yes.
I just wanted to, we made a change, I think, today on the prior CPA article, based on an update regarding what the state disbursement will be. So if you see in the second line where it says state trust fund distribution, it's actually going to be $16,000 higher. So we've made an adjustment to reflect that. So, or $18,000 higher. Let me get the final numbers. I just wanted, so we'll make that change in the final warrant. I just didn't have it reflected in the version we had shared. So it'd be, so that line where it says state trust fund distribution is, it says $140,000. It will say $156,550. So that just takes in more up-to-date information is what we expect that to be.
Okay, and does that mean that, and so this will then be different?
Yep.
These will then be, these will then be different because they'll be 10% of a different number.
Everything will be slightly higher, correct?
Okay.
Can I just give you a copy?
Sure. Yeah, let me type it in here so that we know what we're voting on.
And I'll just share the deadline for eligibility applications for the Community Preservation Committee is May 29th. So if anybody who will be watching this meeting is interested, or if you want to include it in your comments, that's the first round to determine if your project idea would be eligible. So that would be submitted May 29th, and the application forms on the town website.
Can I ask a quick question about this? I'm sorry if you already explained this, but what is the unrestricted fund balance?
Undesignated.
Oh, okay.
It's just, so you have to proportion 10% to each of the 3 categories.
Oh, right.
The rest can be undesignated. You can spend it in any of the 3 categories.
Okay. I see.
We have to wait for him to make the changes.
All right, so you can see on the screen that things have changed. 1186550. Things have gone up by a little bit. I think what I would like to do is entertain a motion to reconsider, and then if that is approved by this body, then vote again on this. There might be a slightly easier way to do it, but that's pretty darn easy. I'll entertain a motion to reconsider the vote on Article 31.
Mr. Chair, I move that we reconsider our vote on Article 31.
Second.
Okay. All in favor of reconsidering the vote on Article 31?
Aye.
All opposed? No. Abstain. Okay. So now Article 31 is, I think, undone. Now we can do it differently.
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
I move that we accept Article 31 with the exception of the red numbers replacing their corresponding black numbers.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. All abstaining. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Milano, Ms. Dexter. Oh, no. I appreciate you rolling with us. So we're looking at the next one.
We did that.
Oh, and we had a motion. I'm sure I did something procedurally wrong by halting mid-motion. Can you make your motion again?
I think I see the same period.
Yeah.
Shoot.
I didn't. Okay, I'll delete it. Okay, I've deleted it.
Okay. Cooper. Mr. Chair, I move that we accept Article 32 as now written.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. All abstain. Okay.
Yeah.
Article 33 is the Wharf Park, which we've discussed. Cecile or Ron?
Can I ask a question on that?
You can.
So the park is going to cost 1.7 million. Very nice job, I think. Very nice program. And maybe it's a question for Nick, but we're going to take out a bond for 750. And who's paying the other million?
I thought we were paying $750 on the last on the bond. In the round.
I thought the bond was from
Let's ask Mr. Milano.
Yeah.
CPC money. The 750 was CPC money, and there's $1 million left. That's the question.
Yeah, it says we also authorize them to bond, and so that would be the $1 million. I think.
So the town of Milton's contribution to this project is $750,000. Any additional,
They're bonding.
and that will be financed by a bond. Any additional work or budget scope items, either they will be contributed by private parties in a private-public partnership, or they'll be kind of valued engineered out of the plan. So there's private partners actively involved in fundraising, as well as in donating materials, et cetera.
So the town's 750. CPC is a piece of that, right?
That's all. CPC is the 750, and that's it. That's the
it.
entire town of Milton CPC contribution. There's no other town dollars lined up for this
Okay.
construction of this park.
But in future years, it'll pay the bond debt.
No, yeah.
Yep. So CPC
60,000?
budget starting in fiscal 28 most likely would start paying principal and interest on this bond that's issued for the Wharf Park project.
So there's $1 million left, right?
The numbers, they've been trying to whittle that number down and down and down. So it's,
But the quote they had was 1.7.
I believe so.
So there's roughly 950.
It's been, I thought it was lower.
Was it 1.2?
I thought we were paying like I thought the town was gonna pay about 3/4 and they were gonna fundraise the other quarter. And I rounded it to $1 million for 750, but I think it was like 1.2 and they're gonna fundraise the difference between that and what the town is gonna get from the CPC borrow.
So they're going to privately raise it from
Others.
other businesses and stuff.
Yeah.
What if they don't raise it? Who pays?
So we're actively engaged in a conversation with the group to ensure that when we go out to bid, we know exactly what will be built and what is committed and what is actively raised, so that we don't have a half-built project or anything like that. So that'll all be resolved, and we'll be at a place where we agree as to what will be the final product with what's been committed and fundraised, prior to our actually starting the project.
So you'll know before shovel hits the ground who's paying for that.
And it is 1.2 million.
It's 1.2? Okay, sorry about that.
Oh, thanks for checking.
Thanks.
And I think it's a
okay.
combination of, private donations of money, private donations of materials. There's been some talk of people willing to donate some labor to help out as well. So it'd be cobbled together by a variety of outside help.
Okay, thank you.
I think you can delete that highlighted text. Mr. Chair, I move that we accept Article 33 as written.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. All abstain. Okay. To see if the town can accept easements. I sort of know what easements are. You want to put a sidewalk in somewhere on a private property, and the person who owns the private property says, yes, you have my permission to put that sidewalk there. Is that pretty much it?
Yeah. Yes. Excuse me. Yeah.
That's an example.
And the limitation being that I think there's a line that'll be at no cost to us. Generally, it's like relocations where a project is going in and the private owner has town infrastructure on their property, and we have an easement over their property to get to our infrastructure. Well, they'll ask us if they can move it, and then we have to move the easement, and then we accept a new easement. So it's largely easements where that comes through.
Yeah. And in the past, before 10 years ago, they had to come to town meeting every time one of these happened. So now we just have an annual article saying.
For most of these, usually the comment is just carried forward from the previous year, and used to have a little explanation. If that isn't coming back, I would suggest copying that from a previous warrant. Just so
Yeah, I think I signed myself this comment, and I'm definitely going to copy from last year.
Okay, cool. Mr. Chair, I recommend that we accept Article 34 as written.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. All abstain, raise your hand. Karen, do you agree that we've voted on every article?
Oh my gosh.
Whoa.
Okay.
Wow, you didn't even notify us that was coming.
Should have warned us.
Reconsider.
I will note that speaking of every article, the historic preservation article about tearing things down, I believe that the people who proposed that article have taken it back, so that will not be in the warrant this year.
Yay.
So now let's talk comments. I sent around an email, huh?
The sign bylaw is not gonna be.
Oh, no.
Oh, sorry, the sign
Let's go
bylaw
ahead.
will. We voted on that on Monday,
I just
right?
didn't see it in here.
Oh, okay.
No, it's further down. It's at the end, probably,
Or-
right?
It's the last article and you voted Monday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's the historic preservation one that's been pulled.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
So comments. I sent around an article yesterday saying pretty much right, and by right I mean copy from the previous year comments on your articles. Now for the last 10 or so that aren't budget articles and aren't similar to the previous year, those will actually have to be written. Some people's burdens are more than others. We would like them, Mr. Milano, I've asked people to give us a pretty good draft by Monday. That way we can work on mocking it up over the next couple of days. That way we'll get it to you in plenty of time to go to the printer. Does that sound okay? I'm seeing nodding.
That sounds good, thank you.
Okay. Can I ask the committee? I'm not trying to ask for the impossible here. Speak up if you need help. You saw your assignments, or at least you know what articles you worked on. Any concerns, questions?
I just have a question. So, like, there's that general article or whatever, sort of at the beginning that has the IT budget. Now, I worked on the IT budget.
Okay.
Am I expected to write a comment about the IT budget? I mean, I'd have to see what the comment was last year, but
Yeah.
that seems like a little detailed.
I think the general government was Grace, and boards and committees was Ron, and then several of you also were.
Yeah.
So I guess if you have a thought about the IT budget, send it to Grace. But
Okay. All right.
So you want him to send it to me, you want me to, and
here's what I'd say: copy last year's.
yeah.
And then if you hear from Larry that he has some
Yeah.
strong feelings about commenting on the IT budget,
Like, listen.
but
Yeah, that's true. You can just shout out the window.
It might benefit the chair if folks would just grab that formatting from the warrant last year and use it to make a new Word document, so that you don't have to reformat everything that you get in email.
I don't quite follow. I'm not worried about the reformatting.
Or no?
Well, we're going to send you our comments via email, right?
Yeah.
I'm saying if people pre-format them to what's right there, if you just copy that formatting, it might be easier for you rather than getting a bunch of different things.
Like the italicized? Sorry, I just don't know.
The font, the size of the font.
I only use Comic Sans.
Unless you want to tell us.
Of
what
all the things
font
I'm
you
worried
want.
about, that's not.
So you can't.
Just no Comic Sans.
Say this as a shared doc where everybody can work on it?
No way.
Oh, God.
Fine, he doesn't like my idea. That's cool. That's cool.
I get it. It makes sense.
Okay.
I'm going to send you a very large purple font.
And then I'll hit Control A and hit the right.
Something really weird.
Last year's warrant is on the internet, right? So you don't.
And I-
Oh, no, he sent it to
Emailed
us.
it to us
Okay.
earlier.
As a Word document, so we can copy and paste.
And I'll be writing
Go look for paper copies.
the 3 or 4 or 5 or whatever page introduction to the warrant that is from the warrant committee. So I'm going to, I mean, there's a limit to how much we can all have input into it, but I am saying right now I'm going to send it out to all of you by, let's say, I don't know, Sunday at noon. I guess I just set a deadline for myself. So I'm not saying it'll be the final version, but it'll be a version to let you see how things are going. If you have a strong objection, please speak up. It's never, it's never great if the front of the warrant has a letter from the warrant committee and you read it and you say, oh, this is what we're saying. Okay. So
By speak up, you mean reach out to you individually, right?
yes.
It's not really going to be 5 pages, though, right?
Open your front door, start talking. Yeah. So I'm hearing again, please speak up if you can't do it. I don't blame someone who can't write their comment. I do blame someone who can't write their comment and doesn't speak up in time to let someone else help them out. The hardest ones will be, again, the last 10 Brian, like 5 of those are yours. As far as I'm concerned, you can write one solar comment, and then for the next 4, say, see the previous article, or something like that.
Okay, I'll probably figure it out.
Hey, Jay,
Yes.
I'm all set.
I think, do we have to be careful about, I know you're joking, but if we reply all and we get into a back and forth on edits with open meeting law?
Well, I mean,
That's why I said reach out individually. We should
Right.
not have a conversation.
yeah.
Oh,
I
Good
know.
point. Although we're not really since it's not going to lead to us voting on anything. I don't know if it's deliberating, but it's always safe than sorry. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I was going to reach out to Nikki for help on the Atherton
Yeah. Great.
one, for the finance stuff, because I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to try to explain that.
Yeah.
Okay, but I can do that.
Yes, please. Well, I think I asked for it to go to me, Macy, and Julia. You said you're not really available. Sorry to put you on the
Throw
spot.
me on there.
Okay, send it to me, Macy, Julia, and Karen, please. Yes, Amy.
And as always, if you guys need any help with numbers or something within those comments, I'm more than happy to help.
Okay, appreciate it.
Great.
Yeah, for the budget ones, with the exception of the schools, I'm not trying to limit your artistic muse, but you can pretty much copy last year's and read it and update it as needed. Okay, so I guess I've beaten that to death, so people will work on comments through the weekend. Thank you. We do have a Zoom-only meeting booked for Monday. I booked that in case something came up tonight that we weren't ready to vote on. I'm not going to cancel the meeting yet because who knows? Things like this popped up at the last minute. Things can pop up at the last minute that, maybe between now and Monday at noon, Mr. Milano, Ms. Dexter will find a typo, and then we can change it Monday night. I'm not going to cancel the Monday night meeting. Sure doesn't seem like it's going to be needed at this point. So then what we do over the rest of the month, sorry, I'm riffing off the top of my head here. One thing that we've talked about before that I think we should present at town meeting, and I've discussed this with Mr. Milano, I think I want to present a forecast. When I say, a forecast, maybe not the forecast. I don't know if I'm repeating myself, but present a forecast to town meeting saying, okay, here's how we see the money going for the next couple of years if these assumptions are met. I think that's important, especially because last year we had an override and then things were surprising the next year. We don't want surprises. And also in that same vein, I think we need a plan for using the operating budget stabilization fund. Again, I'm going to work on Mr. Milano about this. I think we're, very close to being of the same mind. So if I'm going to stand up and say, here's a forecast, I at least want the warrant committee I would love the warrant committee to vote and say, we approve of it. Now, having 15 people look at 12 different assumptions and say, is the health insurance going to go up by 7 or 7.5? I mean, that may not be a recipe for success, but I'd like to, put together a forecast. I've already talked to some of you who are interested. Any of you who are interested, give me feedback. And then we'll present something to the warrant committee over the next month, vote on it, present it at town meeting. It's not an official vote, but if I'm standing in front of there saying, here's a forecast, I'd rather it be something other than just me going off on my own.
Are you going to include in that forecast things like the possibility of the new school and the fire station and the increase in the debt service that Mr. Milano talked about tonight?
The debt service will be included because that's in the budget forecast that I have from Mr. Milano that I'm building on. The new school and the new fire station override will not be, but those will be caveated. Good questions. So, guess what I'm saying is usually it's very slow between now and town meeting for us, and it will be pretty slow, but I want to have at least 1, maybe 2 meetings to talk about that. Okay? So I think we're good. Yes, sir.
Mr. Chair, I move that we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. Thank you very much.
Wow, that was great.